From requesting his own private office to getting paid just to stay out of jail, these are 5 of the wackiest NFL contracts. Starting with
Mr. Unlimited,
who wanted his own office and parking spot on top of his 5-year, $245 million contract. Other Broncos players, however, didn't like that Wilson was treated like a CEO, and the media believed this caused a divide in the locker room. Just imagine being on the Broncos, and you saw Wilson being followed by a convoy of his personal chef, trainer, quarterback coach, and everything else he needs. It took a level-headed coach, Sean Payton, and 2023 to realize this was a complete disaster and Wilson wasn't the alpha.
Yeah, that's foreign to me. That's not going to take place here. I mean, I'm unfamiliar with it, but our staff will be here, our players will be here, and that'll be it.
I mean, Russ only won 5 games with a 16-11 touchdown-to-pick ratio and was the laughingstock of the league. But at least his team signed him for a reason, unlike Eagles legend Donovan McNabb, who was cut the same season he got a 5-year extension worth $78 million. On the decline of his career, McNabb would get traded to Washington, and 8 games into the 2010 season would get extended 5 years for $78 million. But the contract is more complicated than it seems. You see, only $3.5 million of it was guaranteed. The rest of the money only came if McNabb was on the roster the next year, essentially a trial one. And since McNabb threw more picks and touchdowns, he was sent to Minnesota, and the Shanahan brothers running the team thought he was awful. But this contract wasn't as dumb as the Albert Haynesworth deal, which caused the Redskins to lose tens of millions of dollars. Albert Haynesworth was coming off a great year in Tennessee and was a key target for Washington in 2010 free agency, signing him to a 7-year, $100 million deal worth $42 million guaranteed. This would make him the highest paid defensive player ever for his time. But instead of building their scheme around him, they decided they would switch his role completely. Who's they? Well, who else but the Shanahan boys? Haynesworth was furious about him having to play the nose tackle, and would come to camp out of shape and lack professionalism. Haynesworth hated it in Washington, and he was traded out the very next year in 2011 for a 5th-round pick. 3 things were learned that year. Never take a deal from the Shanahan boys, build around your star players, and only pay $100 million to players that get that dog in them. But the Eagles would only listen to that last one, signing Michael Vick in 2009 and giving him bonuses just to stay out of jail. Leading up to Vick's 2008 season, no one could throw him off his game. He was deemed the Michael Jordan of football, the fastest player ever. His speed and arm talent were unmatched, and no one could extend plays like him. But it all came crumbling down in 2007 when he pleaded guilty to dogfighting charges.
Michael Vick has pleaded guilty to another dogfighting charge and was given a 3-year suspended sentence in a unique move to try to hasten his return to the NFL. The former Falcon quarterback is in the middle of a 23-month-long federal sentence that he began serving last year. Vick is set to be released in July and needed to resolve this state charge in Virginia before he could be transferred to a halfway house and perhaps resume his career. He was quiet and still during the brief hearing Tuesday and again apologized to the court, his family, and his fans for his actions.
And the Eagles were hesitant to sign him after a 23-month sentence, but then gave him 2 years, $6.8 million. $5 million of that was only paid if he stayed out of jail and went into his 2nd season on the team. First year, he shared snaps with Donovan McNabb, but started in 2010 and would return to his normal state, winning Comeback Player of the Year. He would receive a $100 million deal for 7 years and is one of the greatest redemptions in pro sports. But what about instead of the team telling the player what to do, it's the player telling the team what they have to do? In 2011, Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald would get extended to an 8-year, $120 million deal. And this makes sense for one of the most consistent wide receivers in the league.
nice hands, Larry.
So there's more on this contract than it says, with former Cardinals players saying Fitzgerald had said that he would only sign if he could keep his long hair. His long hair is for his mother, who passed away in 2003 due to breast cancer, and he kept it that way because that's the way that she liked it.
I don't think it would be a very good look for me without hair.
But what about when players don't want to get paid in cash? That was the deal with left tackle Russell Okung when signing his contract with the Carolina Panthers. The deal was in 2020. $13 million with $6.5 million of it paid in Bitcoin. He then famously tweeted, "Paid in Bitcoin." This influenced many other sports players, not just NFL, to want to get paid in Bitcoin. This includes Detroit Pistons guard Cade Cunningham, who in August 2021 signed an endorsement deal with BlockFi, a crypto lending and trading platform. As part of the agreement, Cade received a signing bonus paid in Bitcoin. But just 1 year later, the company would file for bankruptcy. Hope you're enjoying this video. Thank you for staying all the way to the end. We are heading into a crazy last one, so please subscribe and let's go. In college, running back Ricky Williams was amazing for the Texas Longhorns. He was a clear first-round talent, but Mike Ditka saw more in him. He saw so much, in fact, he traded a total of 8 picks, including all of his picks from the 1999 draft to trade up and take Ricky. Like, That is crazy. I've never seen a man so obsessed with another man before. Like, just look at this magazine cover. That is Ricky Williams and Mike Ditka, and they both consented to be on that. Like, that is crazy. Keep in mind, Ricky only played 3 seasons for the Saints, but it gets even crazier. In his rookie year, he only made $125,000. That's how much the average dentist makes, and Ricky was a top 5 pick. So why did Ricky sign this? Because the deal was 6 years, $65 million. So where was that money going? Well, if he wanted the money, he would have to win MVP, win the Super Bowl, break rushing titles, and many more. Like, he is just not doing that. But what agent let this happen? Well, Ricky Williams didn't have an agent. He had Master P the rapper telling him what to do. The NFLPA told Ricky, like, bro, do not take that deal. You gotta get a real agent. But Ricky didn't listen. He would later get traded to the Dolphins, and Ditka was fired the year he took Williams. That's just crazy. Well, hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, if you made it all the way, subscribe, like, turn on that bell, and I'll see y'all in the next one.